Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is September 14th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. Here's the state of California, and you can see what is going to be our next trough. It's going to pinwheel down the coastline and bring some cooler air with it. Some raw temperatures. It's going to drop the temperatures here across the region, and we're going to have a 1-2 punch as well, because when this trough comes down, it's going to be replaced by yet another one most likely. So we'll dive into those details here as we go through the video today. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as always as well. So first things first, looking at that marine layer, you can see pretty extensive this morning across Southern California, even up across some of the Central Coast area, the Bay Area, a little bit of a mixed bag there, but not too bad across some of the Northern California areas. But if we scroll through yesterday, you can see it did produce some smoke, the line and the bridge fire there across the transverse range. And yeah, not as bad as it has been in the past, and you can still see the hot spot a little bit there in the GOES 18 satellite imagery. Then we emerge out to where we are this morning on the visible satellite imagery. And if you want to take a look at that, you can go to calfire.gov, for example, and you can see the bridge fire is only 3% contained. The line fire is at 25% right now, and you can see the acreage of these fires as well, what counties they're in, etc. Now, taking a look at the high resolution rapid refresh, taking a look at the vertically integrated smoke. This is the entire column of the atmosphere, and this is starting this morning, and I'm scrolling by hour at a time, and you can see as we go through the day today, looks like maybe a little bit of a flare up as we go through this evening. Not too bad though, and you can see relatively speaking across the rest of the state not doing bad at all as far as smoke is concerned. See another little flare up there as we go through Sunday afternoon and through Sunday evening. So now we've got this next system rolling in here. We got probability of thunderstorms showing up in the Hanford, California National Weather Service for some of the Sierra Nevada, even across some of the valley areas, I-5 corridor, even the Bay Area could get a thunderstorm or two out of this setup. You can see Merced checking at 14%, Tracy at 11%, for example. Tioga Pass at 23%. And also we have this mid-September winter weather advisory. What is going on here? Is it November or something? But yeah, above 8,000 feet Sunday night through Monday. And we're going to have probably another shot of this cooler weather as we go on into the upcoming week here. So I'll show you that here more in a moment. Isolated thunderstorm potential possible early this week, late Sunday and Monday for the Bay Area. Small hail, lightning strikes, gusty winds. It's not a huge chance here, and it's not going to be huge precipitation amount, but there is the chance, and we'll be watching that closely over the next couple of days. Now, taking a look at the thunderstorm potential, you notice that for day two, they didn't really have it too much down in towards the Bay Area or Sierra Nevada. That may change here, though, coming up. So if you're looking at that and you want to know what's going on, this may be extended and put out a little bit further and cover a few more areas. This would be day three, still including the Sierra Nevada and some of Northeast California. If we take a look at total snow 10-to-1 ratio, I want to show you the European, the latest one on last night's run. Now again, this starts going on in through Sunday night, on in through Monday. You might see some of that snow flying across the higher terrain, and of course you're going to have much cooler conditions across much of the region. I'll show you that here in a moment. And then we head off in towards this week. We go on in through Wednesday, and you see again another round of snowfall may be coming for some of the higher terrains. We go in through Wednesday and on in through Thursday morning before then that next trough will be kicking out here by the time we get towards Friday morning. But yeah, I mean, it's looking a little bit more like November than it is September here across California in this upcoming week. And looking at the North American model, this is a high resolution version. I just thought I'd show this because it is now getting into range. We go on in through Sunday. You can see some snow. It looks like Mount Shasta right there. And then you can see as we go on in through Monday morning, that snow for the higher terrain starting to show up there as we go through the day Monday. And the North American model only goes out 60 hours, so you can't see that second punch with that second lobe of cold air. And now taking a look at 850 millibars, you want to see what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere, you've come to the right place, 5,000 feet. Let's put this into motion, and you can clearly see the frontal system, the upper level low dropping down across the region, bringing this much cooler air mass all the way down across much of the state of California. And again, like I said, there's another one right behind this one. So that is what's going to bring the chillier temperatures. And we'll take a look at the chances of precipitation even across some of the higher terrain of Southern California as well. Now, taking a look at the wider view of things, you got Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. This is the same map between the European on the left and the GFS on the right. So there goes our upper level low, our polar low, making an early season visit here across the state of California. And you see that reinforcing shot as we go on into the midweek period here coming up. And then later on, we're going to take a look at the extended forecast. But again, I just wanted to kind of show you the visual representation of those two systems moving into our area. And this is the North American model. This is 500 millibars. And And what I just showed you was 500 millibar heights. So that correlates, perfectly, of course, with this cooler air. And I'm going to show you this one here as well. So again, 18,000 feet, you can see this spin in the atmosphere drop in this polar lobe right down across California here as we go on into the Monday time period. Now, taking a look at Elena out there, it's just a depression right now. In fact, they took the name away even. It's just a slug of moisture right here across the Gulf of California. So if you're Baja or some of the west coast of Mexico there, you might be getting some increased precipitation from that. You most likely are. But right now, this does not look like a big impact here on the southwest USA. A lot of this moisture is going to get shunted off to the east as it tries to make its way up towards Arizona a little bit here. And I'll show you that right now. You can see this moisture just trying to make its way up. But then by this time this trough comes down, it's going to keep that well off to the east here. This is not going to be affecting southeast California. Now, taking a look at the 2-meter temperature anomaly here over the next few days, let's put this into motion. And you can see still some areas as we go through the day today, still above average across a lot of the state. But watch what happens as we head on in towards Sunday, late morning here. Now we're going into Sunday afternoon. There's Sunday night. Now we're going on towards Monday morning. And on the day Monday, look at this, Monday afternoon. Virtually all of Nevada and California are below average, some places substantially so. Again, this is the 2-meter temperature anomaly. This is a difference from normal for this time of year. And we put that into motion and we continue on in towards the mid portion of the week. And you can see that secondary shock coming down as well as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, keeping us below normal through the 144-hour period. So taking a look at total precipitation, European on the left versus GFS on the right. You notice we're not getting a lot of it, but again, you could get some across Southern California. The European, a little bit more favorable for that. Some possible rainfall across the Bay Area, again, kind of scattered there. And then we go on in through the week coming up. And again, that secondary system might even bring a bit more rainfall with it as well. So yeah, fun stuff. And we'll be watching that and breaking it down very closely, especially as that second one gets into range of the high resolution models. Now, what I'm showing you here is a little bit different than what I normally show. This is the daily 2-meter minimum temperature. This is the state of California right there. This is Sunday, tomorrow, September 15th. So you can see the overnight lows, fairly chilly still around some of the higher terrain, pretty typical. But as we go on in through Monday, look at that dropping things off. Then we go on into Tuesday morning. Look at that, some 20s up in the Sierra Nevadas there. So heads up. And you can see, look at this low 50s here across a lot of the San Joaquin and the Sacramento Valley. Get your long underwear and your wool hats out. Look at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can see how things remain suppressed here as we go towards the next weekend. But then we're going to start to bounce things back a bit here as we go towards the end of September, as a ridge looks like it's going to try to develop across some portions of the west coast of North America. And I'll show you more on that here in a moment. But first, I want to take a look at the sea level pressure map. What we're looking for here is any kind of tropical cyclone activity or any kind of big high pressure system that's going to set up over the Great Basin that would drive offshore winds, which can bring very warm conditions all the way to the coastal areas and some extreme fire danger with it. So we scroll on into the extended forecast here. We're looking off into this week, and you can see the high pressure out over the Pacific Ocean dominating things. Now, as the ridge builds as we go on in through next weekend, you can see some of this high pressure shifting inland a bit here. So we got to watch this and see just how strong this high is going to be and exactly where it will be placed, because you can see that would be somewhat of an offshore wind component here. This would be flowing from high pressure to low pressure. There would be California coastline, and then we continue on into the following week here. So we'll just be watching that to see how strong this high pressure is going to set up and how persistent this wind is going to be. It doesn't look like a huge Santa Ana or Diablo wind event, for example, as of right now. But we will be watching it. As always, it is that time of year when it can happen. Now, taking a look at the European artificial intelligence, you're going to see our first shot here that we've been talking about in detail. Then there's a secondary shot here. And then we start to build this ridge here as we go on in through September 20th, 21st, 22nd. And it looks like it might dominate our weather for a bit. But the Europeans been switching things up a little bit here on last night's run. It's starting to bring another system here into the Pacific Northwest. So we'll be watching that to see how long this ridge wants to hang out for. Now, taking a look at the 6 to 10 day. This is right at the end of the system's going to be coming through here, so you can still see the below normal signal across a lot of the west coast. Precipitation, kind of a mixed bag there. Looks like a little below average signal for some of Arizona and New Mexico here. And then we go on into the final thing, the daily 2-meter max temperature. So this is for today, September 14th, Saturday. There's Sunday. Look at these temperatures just really dropping off by the time we get towards tomorrow. But then look at Monday. What kind of sorcery is this? Look at this low 70s for highs. Some of the foothills only getting into the mid or lower 60s here in places even across Phoenix, Arizona, the desert areas, you're going to even feel this cool down as we go on into Monday. There's Tuesday, even further cooling across some of the desert southwest. We bounce a little bit back here across the valley areas, and then we go to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we look like we're going to bounce back that heat as we go to the extended. As you can see, the 90s and mid 90s potentially returning, and the desert's warming right back up again. So we'll be watching that, and we'll break it down day by day. Otherwise, hope you guys are liking this channel. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.